What is this rifle? I have not seen anybody else do a video about this rifle. Hey YouTube, what is this rifle? I have not seen anybody else do a video about this rifle. I can't find any information about it other than a couple of advertisements on a few websites for it being out of stock, and nobody else seems to know about it. So I figured I've had about a year, so let's talk about it. What is this rifle? Well, first of all, let's talk about what it's not. This rifle is not loaded. It's completely empty. There's no bullets in the chamber. It's safe. I do have here, for demonstration purposes, a Daniel Defense 32 round empty magazine, the single magazine that comes with this rifle from the factory. So what is this rifle? Again, what is this not? This is not a build. This is a factory rifle, and it's not a clone of anything, at least that I can ascertain. If you can think of something that this is supposed to be a clone for, let me know in the comment section. So what is this? This is the DDM4 Retro 5.56 rifle. That's Daniel Defense DDM4 Retro rifle. What's it a retro rifle of? I might mention it's a limited edition DDM4 retro rifle. Well, you can kind of sense a couple of retro elements to it. It's kind of got a retro, I guess, 70s thing going on. We got a Car 15 buttstock here. This is a modernized Car 15 buttstock with modern materials from B5. So there's that. That's kind of retro. You got kind of a retro G-Wattish vibe going on here, being that it is a quad rail, kind of like the what is it? The kind of harkens to the RAS, the Knight's Armament, I guess, if you will. And then it's got the FSB, the front sight, A2 style, right? So this is a factory rifle. This is exactly how this rifle comes, with the exception that I did add these Picatinny Handguard covers here, and these are an American company, very robust Handguard covers from Thoroughbred Armament. They are American-made Handguard covers. So I did add those, and I added this sling loop here and a sling, obviously. And I swapped out, it came with this very robust rear Daniel Defense fixed sight. And I swapped that out for an A2 style carry handle sighting system to interact with that front sight post. So that's pretty much what it is. It's retro to a couple different areas. So you kind of got a little bit of a Vietnam, you kind of got a little bit of a GWatt. So it's kind of a retro blend, if you will. They just call it the Retro Limited Edition. So, and I think a lot of people slept on this rifle because there's no videos about this out there until now. So now let's go through it in detail from butt to tip. And I will go ahead and say, apart from this being safe, all the footage you see in this video of me shooting this rifle was all performed at a safe range, an actual professional range. So now that we got all of that out of the way for the management, that's for the YouTube policies, because we are being safe here, let's go into the details of this rifle. Now, we're also going to talk about a niche or a purpose this rifle might fill. I did talk about this a little bit in yesterday's morning exercise live stream, and I meant to put this video up last night, but it's neither here nor there. So the purpose of this rifle is very simple, and we'll talk about philosophy of use near the end, but we will reiterate this is a Car 15 style retro looking buttstock from B5, standard, tube there, I guess, if you will, a A2 style pistol grip, and this is unique from Daniel Defense. So a lot of people, myself included, will go and buy Daniel Defense, which comes with standard Daniel Defense furniture, being those buttstocks that nobody seems to like, and the pistol grip, which also nobody seems to like, even though I think they're kind of nice, and I'm changing my tune on that. Different subject for a different video. But A2 style handguard, which gives that retro feel, right? From GWAT all the way back to Vietnam era, that was kind of the standard handguard, right? Now, one thing, the standard, and I do apologize for the rattling noise, the standard Daniel Defense hand grip comes with the integrated trigger guard. Since this has the, I just lost my light. Since this has the A2 style pistol grip, they had to put in a trigger guard. And they opted for a Magpul. And again, this is factory from Daniel Defense. Magpul trigger guard there. Isn't that nice? Rip and grip Daniel Defense charging handle there. Which are very nice charging handles. Forward assist. Does have the shell deflector. Daniel Defense bolt. You can see the DD there. And then Daniel Defense DD dust cover there. So this does come with the ambidextrous safety, which is very important to many gun tubers out there, but not to me. I don't care. I'm right-handed. I guess if there's a left-handed shooter in my group, you know, that might be good. Standard mil-spec trigger. Again, this is empty. Very standard and pretty nice for mil-spec, in my opinion. I don't mind a mil-spec trigger. Actually, I prefer it. Back when I used to get into modifying and working on my stuff, of course, I did the thing all newbies do and went and got CMC drop-in flat face style trigger. I found that those are too light, which can actually lead to negligent discharges, or at least rounds going off when you didn't intend to. And they also get dirty through time because they're not very serviceable. So I tend to stick with mil-spec triggers unless I'm in a different area. So mil-spec triggers, there's that. So this is the upper and lower actual from Daniel Defense, of course. You can see here, Daniel Defense, Black Creek, Georgia, right? And then as far as the upper, it says Daniel Defense there. And then if you can see here, it does have an Anchor Harvey forge mark. All of my Daniel Defenses have the Anchor Harvey forge mark, with the exception of my Mark 18, which has the keyhole for, what is it, a Cero forge, I believe it is. So there's that. A2 style carry handle sighting system. This I purchased on the cheap from cdnnsports.com. This one I found to be loose, and see that? Now I've bought these. Look at that. I've bought these from there before and found them to be of higher quality. That was like maybe 6 years ago. So I'm probably going to have to look into getting a higher quality one from like Colt or something. I don't know. Now, one of the things that separates the DDM4 limited edition retro rifle apart is the handguard. The handguard is the Daniel Defense Omega 9. And this is a really cool handguard. And I'm totally into quad rail superior race over here. I mean, we the first course foray into that was the SOP mod, right? The RIS-2 Daniel Defense, actual government contract, heavy old quad rail, but you know what we say about quad rails, get to the gym, right? But if you do want a quad rail, a heavy duty one that is lighter, the RIS-2, I mean, there's different lengths of the RIS-2. This is the standard RIS-2. I want to say that's like 15.8, I mean, almost a whole pound of a handguard, right? This is like 9.8 ounces, the Omega 9, right? And I love my RIS-2. Of course, it's got the dropout bottom, the bracket hangers for the 203 grenade launcher, all that jazz. Bomb proof. You know, they say Larry Vickers dropped one out of a helicopter, shot it with a shotgun. But if you want something lighter, the Omega 9 is a pretty cool option. And again, doesn't drop off the bottom for the grenade launcher, but sometimes limiting your options, like limiting your container size, can make you carry less unnecessary crap, right? So there's that. Omega 9, they do have an Omega 7 too, which is obviously more of a 7-inch version as opposed to the 9-inch. And then we have the A2 style F marked for flat top front sight post. So I like those. I think they're both functional but also aesthetically pleasing. Then we have the standard, I believe that's the M4 profile, 14.5-inch cold hammer forged, chrome line, 1 in 7 twist, Daniel Defense barrel. Infamous Daniel Defense barrel. 14.5-inch, of course, pinned and welded from the factory with a elongated muzzle device, rendering it, a non-NFA legal rifle length rifle. Now, there's people attempt to drill those out and do their thing. I, even as a welder and person that knows how to use a drill and a torch, would not attempt to do that. If you're really finicky about it, we did have a really good gunsmith in town, and I did get him to put on this Surefire 3P eliminator for me, which kind of cuts down on some of the muzzle flash, which they didn't have the ones that were, would made up against the RC cans available at the time, and I just wanted this at least, so I got that. But it is possible to get different muzzle devices if desired. But there's that. So now this is kind of annoying to me, the bracket for the sling loop, but they didn't bother putting in the loop, which I wish they would have, because I actually do use GI style slings. As a matter of fact, you might notice all the B-roll footage of me at the range yesterday shooting this rifle included a different buttstock. It was actually, where is it? This buttstock here that has the ring on it. Car 15 does not, right? And I do particular style of marksmanship training where I use the GI style sling. So, which is why my main squeeze go-to everyday carry rifle has a Magpul CTR on it, which I modified to put that sling loop on there so I could run the GI style sling. See? So I just got this little thing off of Amazon. Just thumb brackets on. It's got a little loop here. You can put a screwdriver or a punch through there to tighten it. And that's pretty much it. I guess we went butt to tip, which is non-standard, but we're doing our own thing over here. So I like it. The Daniel Defense limited edition DDM4 retro rifle. Now, what is my philosophy of use of this? So I said this yesterday in my live stream. I'm basically referring to this at this point. You might notice not a lot attached to it, right? I'm calling this my basic fighting rifle. Basic fighting rifle, my BFR, if you will, because everybody else gets to just make shit up on YouTube. The DMR, right? The designated marksman rifle. The SPR, the special purpose rifle. The GPR, the general purpose one. They're all just rifles, right? I mean, I think, when I was in the Air Force, we just had M16s. They were just our rifles. I know things get mission specific in very special situations and use cases, but the fact of the matter is, even though this has a lot of geography, if you will, a lot of landscape to put things, I just put the simple rail covers to keep this simple. And I'm calling this a basic fighting rifle because another thing I can do with it is affix bayonet. And the reason I find this functional as well as enticing is, one, there's no asymmetry to it. There's no wabi-sabi, right? So there's nothing to keep it off balance. So if I do want to use it with a bayonet, which, I mean, I do a lot of training in Filipino martial arts, and we've been doing staff training, like bow staff training. And depending on, if you're doing over or underhand, a lot of it is the same type of thing you see those Army and Marine dudes with the, what do you call it, the pugil sticks, right? Where it's supposed to translate into rifle and bayonet. So a lot of that is translate over into martial arts to staff training. So you can think of 1, 2, 5, right? So they're all there. So, and the thing is with your modern fighting rifle, people are apt to attach all kinds of shit to it. I mean, granted, this is set up for, I guess, night vision, if you will. It's got night vision capable optics. It's got an infrared laser. It's got a can on it, right? But this is heavy, and this is a Mark 18. So this is a short barrel rifle, and this is way heavier than this rifle. Yeah, they're all rifles, right? So, but the point of the matter is, I was inspired by my original Smith & Wesson Sport 1 simple basic clamshell handguard, set up basically like this. And I always thought, if I got another rifle like that again, I just put an A2 carry hand style on it, A1 sighting system, and just have it be a basic fighting rifle. My BFR, if you will. So that's it. Kind of a little bit of a philosophy of use. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed on this. Not really. It's pretty basic. Oh, yeah, it does have the Vickers Blue Force gear. I think this was one of my first ones. You can see it's pretty filthy there from sweat. 5 years in the summer. This is the padded one, and I do like this color. So, well, that's it. DDM4 limited edition retro rifle 5.56. That's it. Hope you all enjoyed a little bit something different. Stay safe out there. Until next time, shalom.